Welcome to Mindscape, where we delve into profound philosophical ideas that challenge our understanding of existence and the universe. Today, we explore the cosmological argument, a pivotal discourse in philosophy seeking to establish the existence of God based on observation and reason. This argument not only probes into the origins of our cosmos, but also addresses why proponents argue for the existence of a singular, necessary being behind it all. It stems from fundamental questions about the universe. Why does anything exist at all rather than nothing? Hinges on observations about causation, contingency, and the need for an ultimate explanation. Beginning by examining Thomas Aquinas' seminal three ways, foundational to the cosmological argument. The first way, the argument from motion, posits that everything in the universe is in motion. Aquinas asserts that nothing can initiate motion by itself. It requires an unmoved mover, a necessary being identified as God. This unmoved mover is essential to sustain the continuous motion and change observed in the universe. Moving to the second way, the argument from causation, Aquinas argues that everything in the universe has a cause. This causal chain cannot regress infinitely. There must be an uncaused cause, which Aquinas identifies as God. This uncaused cause is necessary to initiate the chain of causes that we observe in the world. Aquinas concludes that this uncaused cause is God, the prime mover and initiator of all causes within the universe. Aquinas further develops his argument through the third way, the argument from contingency. Here, he observes that everything in the universe is contingent. It depends on something else for its existence. Given that contingent beings cannot exist indefinitely into the past, Aquinas posits the necessity of a being with necessary existence, a being whose existence is not contingent on anything else. This necessary being, he argues, is God, the source and sustainer of all contingent beings. Expanding upon Aquinas' framework, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz introduces the principle of sufficient reason. According to Leibniz, every contingent fact requires an explanation, a reason why it exists. Applied to the universe, this principle leads to the conclusion that there must exist a necessary being, a being whose existence is self-explanatory and does not rely on external factors. This necessary being, Leibniz asserts, is God, a singular entity that serves as the ultimate explanation for the existence of all contingent realities. Despite its historical prominence and philosophical depth, the cosmological argument faces compelling criticisms. David Hume, a notable skeptic, challenges the argument's inference to a necessary being, questioning the applicability of causal principles from within the universe to the universe as a whole. Hume contends that while causation is observable within our immediate experiences, it does not necessarily extend to the universe itself, casting doubt on the need for an external cause. Bertrand Russell furthers this critique by proposing that the universe may be a brute fact, that its existence requires no external cause or explanation. Russell argues that while every part of the universe may have a cause, it does not logically follow that the universe as a whole necessitates a cause. He likens this to the analogy of the human race, where every individual has a cause, a mother, but the human race itself does not. Therefore, Russell suggests the universe may simply be self-existent without requiring an external explanation. In response to these objections, William Lane Craig formulates the Kalam cosmological argument. Craig asserts that an actual infinite, an infinite regress of causes stretching infinitely into the past, is logically untenable. He argues that if the past were infinite, we could never reach the present moment through successive additions of time. Thus, Craig concludes, the universe must have had a beginning, a point at which it began to exist, necessitating a cause. This cause, he posits, aligns with the concept of God, a singular, necessary being who transcends time and space. The cosmological argument, as articulated by Aquinas, Leibniz, and Craig, converges on the assertion of a singular, necessary being behind the universe. Proponents argue that the complexity, orderliness, and contingency observed in the universe necessitate an explanation beyond itself. This necessary being, they contend, must possess attributes such as omnipotence, omniscience, and omnibenevolence, characteristics traditionally associated with monotheistic conceptions of God. Aquinas argues that the unity of attributes among necessary beings points towards a singular source of all existence, a being who is not contingent on anything else and whose existence is essential and unchanging. Leibniz further emphasizes that the coherence and intelligibility of the universe demand a singular, sufficient reason for its existence, a reason found only in the existence of God. Craig's cosmological argument reinforces this monotheistic conception by highlighting the logical absurdity of an infinite regress of causes and asserting the necessity of a first cause, a cause identified as God. Craig argues that this first cause must be singular and transcendent, as only such a being can provide the sufficient explanation for the universe's existence. However, critics argue against the cosmological argument's foundational premises and conclusions. Hume challenges the applicability of causation within the universe to the universe as a whole, casting doubt on the necessity of positing a necessary being. Russell questions why the universe cannot simply be its own cause, a self-existent reality without an external explanation. In response, defenders of the cosmological argument seek to justify the causal principles underlying their arguments. They argue that the principles of causation, contingency, and sufficient reason are essential for understanding the universe's origins and orderliness. Craig's cosmological argument addresses the challenge of an infinite regress by asserting the logical impossibility of traversing an actual infinite, thus necessitating a first cause, a cause identified as God. In conclusion, the cosmological argument continues to provoke profound philosophical debates about the origins and nature of our universe. Aquinas' three ways, Leibniz's principle of sufficient reason, and Craig's cosmological argument each offer distinct perspectives on why proponents argue for the existence of one God, a singular, necessary being who serves as the ultimate explanation for the cosmos, while critics raise valid challenges regarding the inference to an external cause. Proponents maintain that the complexity and orderliness of the universe demand an explanation beyond itself, a singular God who is the source and sustainer of all existence. Thank you for joining us on Mindscape. We invite you to delve deeper into these philosophical ideas and engage in thoughtful discussions. Stay curious, and until next time, keep exploring the depths of the mind.